Hi, my friends. It's Isabel, your life coach. My mission is to show you what's possible in your life and to get you one step closer to achieve that. So, today I want to show you three simple steps of how to feel better. Don't we all need that often, right? Be it pandemic or children in school doing online school or what have you, right? It's causing us stress. So maybe you have a relative who's sick right now or friend. It's just stressful times. So I want to show you three simple steps of how you can feel a little better, right? The goal is never to go from feeling really sad to great. It's just little step to feel better. And the wind's blowing my notes. So the first one is to ask yourself, what are you feeling now? The step one is, what are you feeling now? And I want you to pause and really think about it and give a word for that feeling. So you need to connect to the present moment, right? You need to stop and pause. And, sometimes I hear people tell me a whole story when I ask how they're feeling, or so and so did this, or such and such happened. That's not the idea right here. It's just a very precise word about how you're feeling. One word. Okay? Let's go with sad, anxious, happy, nervous, concerned, right? Try to find one word. The next step is to describe it and where is it in your body, right? I have a whole PDF on that, so I'm not going into detail about that. But can you describe it? Is it sitting in your throat, in your heart? Is it in your stomach? Are your hands clammy or shaky? You have a tense neck, sore back? What is it? Where do you feel that emotion, right? So again, we need to learn to observe ourselves, and the way I like to describe it is, if you think of the movie Scrooge, right? Christmas movie, which is watched a few months back, and there's all these ghosts coming to visit him, and they're like hovering over him. I know it's silly, but it's one way I can picture myself like observing me. I'm just hovering over me like one of those ghosts, and oh, what is Isabel doing today? What is she feeling? What is she thinking? So just kind of try to have this experience of you observing yourself and deciding, what are you feeling right now? Okay? Also, no judgment. Never a judgment. No judgment. If you're feeling upset, anxious, sad, angry, it's okay. It's okay. No judgment. Those feelings are all meant to be felt. Okay? So, step one is, what are you feeling now? One word, if possible. Step two is, what caused that feeling? What is the reason for that feeling? Right? So, it's kind of time to think of that story that you're telling yourself, right? But again, I don't want a whole story. I want one sentence this time. One sentence that you're telling yourself about how you're feeling, right? So, what are you thinking? And again, this is not a fact because everybody is going to think something different. We know that, right? Everybody has different thoughts about any given circumstance. So, we're not looking at a feeling and we're not looking at the fact. We're looking at what you're thinking, all right? And that thought that we're trying to put in one concrete sentence is what is causing your feeling. If you have any questions on that, please message me, right? Sorry, little itch. So, for example, we all have, if you're a parent, you have children who are doing school in very different times with online school or being quarantined or whatever have you, right? This morning I got a message from my son that he might have had to be in quarantine, but it wasn't, and I did not receive an email. So times are different, right? Could cause us anxiety. But let me just give you an example of, let's say my child got an F in one test, okay? Now, it's what you think about that will cause you the feeling. It's not the grade and it's not your child. It's what you are telling yourself about that grade. For example, Oh, this could make me look bad as a mom. I didn't stay on top of the homework. I didn't make him study or her study hard enough, right? Or we could go to the extreme, and I always smile when I um, think about that because Dr. Shefali taught me that. We go to the extreme as moms, right? Let's say, again, the child has an F, and we're like, wow, she'll fail in life. She'll be at the side of the road in the ditch, homeless, right? Isn't that funny? I just love, I when I think of her explaining that to me. Um, we think of the worst scenario, worst case scenario. One grade, one failing grade will not cause that. But that's what's going on in my mind, right? And that's what's causing me anxiety. My child will fail in life. Or this might make me look back. What will other parents think? What will the teacher think, right? Another example is, um, might be scared because somebody got laid off at work. This happened last year, right? So many people got laid off. So this could be a true scenario, right? Somebody got laid off at work. Is that why you're feeling anxious? Is that why you're feeling scared? Right? Again, think about what is the thought that you're telling yourself. It's not that so and so got laid off that's making you scared. It's the thought, for example, will I be next? Right? Will I be next? What will happen to me? How many more will be laid off? That's what's causing you to be scared. It's that thought. Okay? So that's number two is what is causing the feeling. Find that sentence, find that thought that you're thinking about what's happening. Okay? Then the third step is, right, we're not feeling better yet. We just found the feeling and we just found the thought that's causing us the feeling. We're still not feeling any better. And I promised you I'll show you 3 steps to feel a little better. And again, I don't want you to jump from feeling anxious to elated. That's not my goal here. It's just to feel a little better, just one step closer, right? So, in the third step, we're trying to come up with a new thought. And that's so much fun. I love doing that exercise. So, right, we're not jumping from scared to super calm, like nothing can bother me. It's just running off like, water on oil. That's not the goal at this moment. And it's not going from anxious to elated. Everything's great. Which is one to find one new thought that is true for you. And it needs to feel true. That's what I help my clients with because I can give them suggestions and sometimes I do when they're stuck, but they really need to believe it. And that's what I love to do, helping um, clients in that scenario, right? So there was one example I can give you, an anonymous, okay? So this one um, client, her teenage child, had received a letter from his dad, and dad and mom are divorced, and dad has no custody, right? He doesn't get to see the kids unless they want to see him. So he wrote a letter to his children saying, I would feel so much better if you talked to me more. So, child, who's a teenager, was thinking, right, this is my fault. And of course, then feeling depressed and sad and, right, all that. Um, and I encouraged my client to teach that to her children, right? Because she had been trained with me, she had been coached by me. So she helped her son come up with a new thought. Okay, so dad wrote in a letter, I would feel so much better if you talked to me more. And then this teenage son came up with a thought, wait a minute, dad is the last person I should take advice from. And then he felt less concerned. That was exactly what she wrote to me, less concerned. Okay? Not elated, not great, but less concerned. And because the son felt less concerned, he could then forget about it during the evening and enjoy the rest of the day. Okay? So this is one concrete example. All right? So let's go with the child who has the grade F. Okay? what other thought other than, oh gosh, my child will fail? Um, what are what is the teacher gonna think about me, right? Instead of those thoughts, what could I be thinking? For example, and again, I'm just giving examples. It needs to be a thought that you can believe that you know is true for you, but it's just an example, okay? So, child has an F. My thought could be, my child is doing great in all other subjects, okay? And again, then you will feel a little better, right? That F then is put into perspective. It's not that serious. All right? And let's say one of your coworkers got laid off, and instead of thinking, oh gosh, I'll be next, you could be thinking, and again, it's just an example, just a suggestion, right? I'll keep doing my best at work. So again, you bring it to the present moment, you bring it to yourself. That's all you can control, anyways, yourself. Okay? Not your boss, not your coworker, not your child, not your spouse, not your mother in law, right? I'll keep doing my best at work. And when you think that, you tell me how you would feel when you think that, right? Maybe a little motivated to produce your best, so maybe your chances are not as great to be fired. I don't know, right? Can't control the outcome always, but you can control how you show up at that moment. Okay? So if you have any questions, please let me know. Let me know if this is helpful for you. And again, this is where I would love to help you one on one in my coaching, um, just to help you feel a little better and then go from there. How to take apart the facts from the stories, right? And that is especially helpful also in relationship, like I said, with your children or with your spouse. If you're struggling with any of those relationships or at work, let me know. I would love to move you forward just one step closer to feeling a little better. Okay, until next time, you are loved. You're deeply loved, loved beyond measure. See you next Monday.